Hey guys, Hetu this side, and welcome back to ETL Labs. I hope that you all are doing fantastic. Today's topic is very important because at this point of time, there are a lot of uncertainty going on around IT world, and because of AI, ML, and all those things which are happening right now. And it's very important for us to basically take a right decision from here on, right? We should not be taking a wrong decision, otherwise we will be landing somewhere else, right? So that's the reason I thought that I will do this video, and hopefully this video can give you a very good path, and you will realize it after few months or few years that I have taken a right things. So this is completely based on my understanding, based on my experience that I have so far in industry, right? So like based on that, I'm going to talk about it, and hopefully if you can correlate it, resonate with my thinking, then I think it can be one of the turning point for you as well. Yes, right. So let's try to understand. We are going to talk about ETL testing automation versus web automation testing. Yes, and we are going to do a quick comparative analysis based on the features that we have right now, based on the current trend that we have right now. And then second one, what if people are already going to start their career into test automation? What should they do basically, right? Are the people who are already working into, let's say, web automation, mobile automation, all those people who are already working into test automation, what they should do basically. And then finally, the people who are working already into ETL testing automation, there is something for them also to take away from this, right? So we'll talk about everything around this, right? And let's start with the first one, basically the comparative analysis, right? And we'll move forward with that. The first one, guys, I have actually tried to put into feature and then ETL testing, web automation. We will try to understand everything. So the first factor that is here is basically job market saturation, right? So if you look at the ETL testing automation, guys, it is still like not so many people know how to do the ETL testing automation. Yes, they do how to do the manual testing, but they don't know how to do the automation testing. And that is the reason it is like very niche skills and also low competition in this particular field. Yes. Now, come to the web automation. It is highly saturated right now because lot of people who actually do the testing, they actually their natural tendency is they move into test automation or the basically web automation testing. That's what I meant to say, right? And that is the reason there is a lot of people who know. So if you look at one single resume, everyone almost put the Selenium, Playwright, all those kind of basically tools that they already know, right? So I mean, it's not that I'm telling that, you also can actually see the same thing happening, right? So there is a lot of competition. That's why I'm saying there is a lot of job highly saturated in that particular field. Now, industry demand, guys. If you look at the industry demand right now, everything is moving around data, right? Data is a new oil. That's what we are saying right now. Yes. And it's very important that we know how to basically test the data, right? So that the demand for the data, as it is growing, and AI and ML is also coming into picture, it is increasingly it's important for us to basically do the data testing, and the way to do the right data testing with a huge amount is basically ETL testing automation, right? That's why it's going to grow. That is what the industry demand right now. However, for the web automation, I still think it is relevant. It's not outdated. Definitely, there are a lot of things that is needed to be done as part of automation testing as well. But some responsibilities are moving to developers, whether you agree or not, right? Because in many companies there is no separate automation test engineer, especially in the UI world, right? Because they want developers to do some write some test cases like playwrights or Selenium and all. So they also are started doing it, and that is the reason it is still relevant. But I'm saying that it's not like very booming right now, I would say. Yeah. Now, in terms of the learning curve, if you look at it, it's very interesting to see this, right? What it takes to learn ETL automation testing. It takes a lot of things for you to actually learn, right? First of all, you need to master SQL. You need to also understand Linux, Python, data warehousing concepts, ETL concepts, business logic, and so many other things that we need to understand when you actually become a proper ETL automation tester, right? However, for learning the web automation testing, it is easier entry, as I said, right? Because that's the reason a lot of crowd is also there. It's overcrowded, I would say right now, because it just need you to know one language and one tool, which is already the tool is already there. You just need to know how to use that particular tool, isn't it? So it's very, very easier entry, and you know that where is the things are easier, there is less demand. Obviously, a lot of supply there, right? And that is actually making ETL testing automation a key skill sets today and with the required demand in the industry, right? Now, the next one, automation stability. So when you talk about automation suite stability itself, right, the data pipeline don't change frequently. You create a data pipeline from starting from source to target and the reporting system, everything. It is going to be almost same for many, many months or many, many years, basically. However, when you do the UI automation, there are a lot of rapid development that happens, and automation scripts keeps breaking, right? And that is also a bit one advantage for a test automation engineer. Once you build it, it's going to be working for very, very stable code base, basically, right? Now the next one is the business impact. This is again very key point that we should actually focus on. When it talks about the business impact, everything revolves around business, right? So if you talk about the business impact in terms of data testing or ETL automation testing, the data that you actually certify, it goes to the very top level, right? It goes to the top level executives or CXO levels for the strategic decision, because based on that data itself, people will take the decision what to do for the company or for the organization, or what they should not do, what they should do. All these strategic decisions happens on this top levels based on the data that you certify that this looks fine, right? However, for the UI, obviously it is having the value because it is basically impacting your day-to-day business. But if you see the visibility level, the business impact, the ETL testing automation can give, it's very, very high, basically. It is heard to everybody, yes, to the top management as well. Now, pay compensation. As I said, when you talk about the pay compensation, it's higher due to the niche and diverse skill sets, isn't it? Because see, you are going to learn so many skills. You see the learning curve, right? You basically know so many different skill sets, and that is not only something that you are using or you're testing, but also you can contribute to the development because you have all these skills, right? However, when you do the automation testing, you cannot do a lot of development work activity, especially in the agile world today, right? People are actually supposed to be T-shaped. T-shaped means basically you have one really deep skills and other skills which are broad. For example, right, you are good into Linux, you are good into databases, you can actually contribute to the development work as well, isn't it? And that's the reason you are very, very highly required, and your compensation pay package is also higher than your web automation tester, right? Now, future proofing. It is also, you can see that why it is important for the future proofing point of view, because see, every single day data is increasing. We all know that data is like it's going to increase, and based on data itself, everything happens. It's new currency, new oil. That's what we say, right? Now, with a lot of complexity around the data, it's very important that we know, and everything that happens, all the decisions happens around the data itself. That's why it is a future proofing. Yes. Now, few roles are shifting into development for the web automation that we have already looked at it. Yes. So it's better to basically move into ETL side as well. Yes, I'll talk about it, who should move, who should not move, or what should do other people. And impact of AI, guys, this is another key point that I wanted to talk about it. See, there are a lot of tools which are there in the market currently, right? Codeless automation tools for Catalan and all those things for the web automation, and for UI and mobile automation also. There are a lot of tools which are available right now readily for people to do the automation in web automation, right? And probably that is the reason a lot of jobs in the web automation is also drastically changing, taking their role, because these tools are able to do the automation for you. However, when you come to ETL testing automation, there are a lot of end-to-end thing that we have to do, a lot of connecting that we have to do, a lot of database manual backend, right? A lot of backend activity that we need to do, Python to database to different type of storage system, S3, and all those things are actually there in in the back end, right? And that is the reason it is not end-to-end automatable, right? It's not very easily automatable, and that is the reason it is getting lesser and lesser impact because of the AI. This is what I wanted to talk about it. This hopefully this gives a good comparative analysis for you, basically what we should do, what we should choose actually. But I want to give you some bonus point as well, which is basically what you should do where you are, because you know all of these things. Let us talk about what you should do basically. A couple of suggestions that can give my from my side. Hopefully this can be helpful for you. So if you are starting your journey in a test automation, let's say you have never worked on it, then consider beginning with the ETL testing automation. It's high impact, less crowded path with growing demand. Yeah, simple I can say. And this is ideal for whom basically manual QA engineers looking to upskill and move beyond UI automation, right? So they are actually probably doing the manual testing or functional testing. If they want to actually move, they can actually look into the ETL testing automation. Now, freshers aiming to enter the automation space with the necessary skill sets, because see, for fresher is a perfect start, I'll tell, because as a fresher you don't just need to do the automation testing. You also need to know all the different tech stacks. For example, you need to know SQLs, you need to know let's say Python. You also need to know what is ETL testing, what is data warehousing, or maybe so many other stuff as well, isn't it? So that's the reason for fresher it's perfect start, because freshers might tomorrow go into data engineering role as well, right? But to start with, it is the best thing that they can do. Now, the third one, intermediate professional transitioning to QA into data engineering role, right? From QA, right? Let's say people who are already working into have good amount of experience probably, or maybe people from the support engineering as well, right? They are working into production support, etc. Those kind of roles. They know a little bit about everything about Linux. They know a little bit about database and other things. For them also, it is very good because they can actually don't want to do the entirely QA. Then they can intermediately move into QA, and then after that they can move into data engineering roles. That is the pure development of the data side of it, basically, right? So this is also good for them. Now guys, the next one, the suggestion number 2, if you're already working in web automation or mobile automation or API automation, which means you are already established uh, engineer, like the software automation web engineer, right? Automation engineer. Then what you should do, you should consider expanding your skill sets into data testing. Why? Because it's very powerful complementary skill set that will not only boost your profile but also can help you future proof, right? As I said, that the data engineering is basically almost very future proof because of the nature of the work, right? The AI cannot take those jobs very easily, basically, right? So that's the reason it can be future proof, and you should be learning the ETL testing automation if you're there, right? Now the third one, guys, it is also that the people who are into already doing the ETL automation testing, they are very good at it, very good at doing it. I would say that they also should not be sitting idle. They should also familiarize themselves to know little bit of the web automation testing, mobile automation testing, API automation testing. I'm not saying you have to be master, but you should know little bit about it, so that if there is any requirement tomorrow, you should be able to fit into that as well. Yes. So in this way, you are going to cover the entire spectrum of the software testing, basically. Let it be any kind of software testing automation, you are ready in this way, basically, right? So there are the 3 suggestions I given to everybody, and hopefully this really can help you take further decision what you have to do, basically. And I hope that you all can actually follow this and change your career uh, to a good high level, right? Yes. So I'll see you soon in the another video. Until we meet next time, happy learning. God bless you. Bye.